Time now to talk about the game coming up on Monday. It's New Zealand versus the Netherlands. Dev, New Zealand's injury crisis seems to be easing. Kane Williamson's not playing again, but the word is that Lockie Ferguson and Tim Southee are ready to go. That's a lot of firepower for a team that is disciplined and that shocked the world champions, if I could say that, with effectively 12 fit players.
I was looking at it pretty closely earlier on, and I thought maybe Williamson can take another week or another few days off and make sure that's right. Same with Southee. But if Ferguson comes back in, maybe he could take the place of Jimmy Neesham. So very difficult to drop that Rutchin boy who came in because of these the injuries from the first game and did so very well. I don't think that can happen, but maybe a Southee is very experienced. There's no need for him to play playing against Afghanistan. Give that finger a thumb a little bit longer to heal up and feel. Get the feel on that thumb. There was a little bit of non-feeling there for a while, and also I think with Williamson, he'll have another couple of days off to get it right. So maybe Lockie Ferguson can come in and give you that fight.
Why do you need Williamson when numbers 1 and 3 are getting 270 odd runs?
There you go. But he is
at
pivotal.
some point they need him.
He's pivotal to that team as well. He's a leader. He's a good captain. Get him into competition mode as soon as possible. Okay,
now you've coached a World Cup winning team. They obviously would be flying after the way they sort of dismantled England. What, 136, 37 overs, they chased down 280 odd. How do you, as a coach, how do you get them back to terra firma and tell them, okay, that's the game, gone, get back to normal. It is Netherlands, yes, that could be an issue because the Dutch have shown that they can scrap.
That's another C word?
Yep. Consistency?
No.
Complacency.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, you need to be a little bit careful of being complacent because it has a habit of biting you on the backside very, very quickly. So it's a verbal thing. How do you practice it? Very difficult to practice, erasing everything and you've got another game. So it's a verbal instruction or discussion. Maybe instruction is not a good word because they're all adults. They're all good players. They're senior guys. It's verbal, but more than that, it's a genuineness, that communication. So it's like a teacher. You've got to be a teacher more than a coach, I reckon. So if you get the message across in the right way, there's a secret. It's okay to, a lot of people will give you the same message correctly, but the way you communicate it is a big difference.
Okay, and you get a feeling that this New Zealand team sort of fights for each other. They know that their strength is to play as a team. The Netherlands, how do they approach this? Because they know they are seriously undercooked going up against the Kiwis, but they can scrap. So is their best chance that you wait, you play the way you know how to play. If the other team slips up, you pounce.
Yeah, I think for them, again, they've got to chase under lights. Every game is a wonderful bonus for them. They've worked really hard and they deserve to be here because of the effort they put in those challenges. So every game, is to be absolutely cherished and welcome. So I'm sure they'll approach it that way and they'll get some huge experience from all these games. And one or two of these boys, I tell you, will shine out. At the end of the tournament, they'll come home heroes in Holland.
Okay. Some of the boys, he says, let's bring up the key battles, which is a Dav Whatmore speciality. That's where we ask Dav. We want to know more with Whatmore. Here we go. First up, Devon Conway, the 150 man. He's up against that brave off-spinner, Aryan Dutt. He bowled in the power play against Pakistan.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a big test for him because Conway knows the conditions in India pretty well, played the IPL. He can go.
I think the ball will be thrown to Aryan Dutt again to see what he can do. Nothing to lose, you know, huge opportunity for him if he can, you know, at least make it difficult for Devon Conway. But I think being a left-hander and he's an off-spinner who looks like he's got good control, I'd rather fancy that might be an interesting duel too.
He didn't concede, he conceded one boundary. His spell against Pakistan before he was taken off was 4 overs for 12 with one boundary.
Yeah.
That means in the next 3 he conceded just 8 runs off 18 balls against the likes of Babar Azam, who was at the crease at that point of time.
Yeah, and more than that, it's the toughness of mind, and I'm interested to see how he goes in the next game.
Okay, next up, you have Rachin Ravindra, the emerging star, the 23-year-old, against Logan Van Beek. He bowled just a 6 against Pakistan. I did some digging around.
Is he injured?
I don't know. He's playing. He's supposed to be playing, but he's played for New Zealand. In fact, he's the insider. He's played for New Zealand in under 19 cricket in 2010.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I put him down as a matchup because he's a very good player, Logan Van Beek. You know, playing a lot of county cricket.
How does lightning strike twice? What does this boy do?
Well,
he just does what he's doing. Just
yes,
go.
I think so. You are what you are. You know, so you know it'll be also interesting to watch how they back up. You know, especially someone as young as Rachin. And if he comes across a guy like Logan Van Beek, who's got more experience than him, to see how he handles it. Because this guy, he's not a bad player, you know, got enough pace. And I would rather think they'd be watching a lot of their videos and they'll get the good information in their interest group meeting, their bowlers meeting, to try and negate Ravindra as well as a few other of those top order players.
Okay, let's look at the next battle. Now, Trent Bolt is a wily old fox. He's up against Vikramjit Singh, who, as I told you, when he bats, it reminds me a bit of Chris Gayle. But what he needs to learn is perhaps muscle the ball as well and sort of keep those scoring shots coming. Perhaps see how Virat Kohli and KL Rahul got their runs even when the situation wasn't as tough. But you would think Bolt here has just got a lot more experience. He didn't start
very well, did he?
Yeah.
Trent Bolt, really. He didn't start very well, but if you look at his economy at the end of that 10 overs,
came back very well.
4.8, I think, you know. So it surprised me a little bit also. So that guy is, you know, he's a wonderful contributor. So in other words, if you happen to have a not so good a spell, comes back for his second and third, he can make up for it.
And that's experience, doesn't it?
Yeah, with Vikramjit Singh though, he's got, you know, good potential to go on and become one of those gems coming back to Holland at the end of this tournament. But he needs to be a little careful with the one that's leaving the outside edge. Yes, he's like De Kock, who loves room, and he obviously, Ishan Kishan showed us he loves room, but a bit too wide. First ball got out. So that's his strength, but needs to be a little careful of how much movement Trent Bolt will get when he's facing with a new ball. So
okay. The fourth one is two standout players. Mitchell Santner, in fact, didn't consider a boundary against Pakistan. And that's a team which knows how to play spin from the time they put their pads on. Against Bas de Leede, son of Tim de Leede, who you felt should have been man of the match in that last game.
For sure. That's
what, he got 4 wickets, was on a hat-trick, got 67 odd. What does Santner do? But he's not going to attack so much. Santner's going to be a bit like Jadeja, isn't he? He's going to keep it tight.
Yeah, he's
going to make it difficult to earn runs off.
Jadeja also hasn't got too many mystery balls either, right? He's very accurate with his pace. He varies pace. Length doesn't seem to vary much, but same with this fella, you know, he's deceptive in some of these deliveries that hurry on to you. And no doubt, Bas de Leede would have been discussed as a potential threat to New Zealand getting another, improving their net run rate.
So it's already big, right? It's already 2+.
Yeah, but they'll want to maintain that, if not do better, and there's a chance they could do it. But Mitchell Santner, being a left-arm spinner, obviously will be throwing the ball when probably their best batsman comes in, Bas de Leede. So, you know, I still think he'll bowl in the power play, Mitchell Santner, but he'll also have a few overs for this guy because he would have been identified as a potential threat.
Okay, the final one is a double international, Roloff van der Merwe, who played for South Africa.
Yeah,
Good friends with Dale Steyn, and he's up against Daryl Mitchell, who didn't get a bat in that other game, but can go big. He's been getting a lot of these quick runs.
He wasn't alone, was he?
Yeah.
Mitchell didn't get a bat. A lot of them didn't get a bat. So, you know, he's an upper order player. So if the New Zealand openers have a day out, he still may not get a bat, but he's an upper order. So more chances than not he'll bat. So when he comes in, this left arm spinner is very experienced too. You know, and he's a live wire. He is a spark within that team as well. Very experienced, a bit older. So I'm sure that the left arm spinner will get the ball to a right hand batsman. So I think that could be a good battle. I'll be looking forward to that happening.
And that's why you've picked it. So these are the 5 battles that Dav Whatmore has picked for the game on Monday. A reminder, that's Netherlands versus New Zealand. The Kiwis thrashed England in their first game, in fact the tournament's first game. Pakistan just had a bit too much in the tank for the Dutch.